time to get into descriptions of familiars and as to how I managed to encounter some of my own. Now, there was one spirit in which I have encountered that is a traveler spirit, in which I've met through a Babylon rite through Satania's YouTube channel, and which they're also sorcerers as well, and they do rites and induct people into streams of different currents, such as death current, shit like that, fucking whatever current you wish to dabble into. Trust me, they got all the rights in which you can just submerge yourself into. Now, granted, be careful with that. It's going to be a hell of a plunge because here's the one thing of which you will face once you first drop into it is that you'll be into a fight or flight mode at first. And it's going to be on an existential level. It's not going to be on any other level, physical or mental. It's going to be on every level because it's going to be showing you the parts in which you cannot take with you, in which that's what the streams are pretty much going to be demanding, is they're going to be demanding a sacrifice in order for you to partake within the current. And that's how I encountered my familiar traveler spirit, in which he usually tends to go places and then comes back. In which there was one time I did talk to another, and here's the funniest part about this one, is that this spirit said that there was literally financial shit that was hidden, literally in London. And then, here's the funny thing, is that my familiar went over there and said, yeah, it's pretty fucking legit. There's another place that's right next to it called the Lexington. And I was like, really? Okay. So I decided to look it up. And what's funny as fuck is that it's a 20-minute drive away from each other. It's like the Lexington is right next and within London, and according to the same exact fucking spot of which the first spirit told me. And I was like, holy shit, that's actually fucking true. So let's just say that's going to be a place of which I'm going to go whenever I get my fucking, shit in order. And that's going to be, I'm not going to say what the hell it is, though. But other than that, though, what can I also describe for their functions? Is that if you reciprocate to them with offerings, incense, food, shit like that, see, people think that it's the food and the incense that are the offerings. No, it's your energy and which goes into them, okay? Like, for instance, if you just tend to give shit and not really think about it, then it's not really a worthy offering, in which they usually tend to not accept it and just tend to leave it at that. And if they do require a bit of devotion or bit of even reciprocation, because here's what they'll do for you, is that whenever it comes to your vision of where you're wanting to go, they'll help you in guarding that vision from other external sources of fucking others, psychic fucking impulses of which they could be, like, oh, this fucking guy ain't gonna make it, he ain't gonna make it, he ain't gonna make it. They'll guard you from that shit. They'll actually shield you. And now, I'll go ahead and include this funny story, which not funny, but rather interesting, because now this is going to sound like some fucking sci-fi shit, in which you can agree with it or don't. But if you want to get into the practical element, you get your fucking ass on my Patreon, and then you'll see the practical elements of it. And it's going to be through the shit of which I've done and am doing whenever it comes to rituals and me explaining the processes behind them. I really get further into depth on that whenever it comes to that. So it's only $10 a month. You can hit that up and check to see. And if you're still in doubt about anything, just go ahead, hit up my YouTube channel, my fucking socials, get further and digging and fucking exploring my shit, all right? Then you'll finally fucking get the gist, or at least a part of it. But what other descriptions can I give about familiars? Is that if you're a fucking not a morning person, right? If you tend to wake up groggy and shit, they could be those types that would actually help you with energy in the mornings. Like, for instance, you'll wake up out of bed and not need caffeine, not need any goddamn coffee. You're just awake. And those are some small things of which they'll do for you. And even whenever it comes through gifts from others, they'll help you with that. See, here's the thing, is that the spirits of which we operate with, not only are they connected to me, they're connected to you always. It doesn't matter how fucking far they are from you or near you. It doesn't matter. Every spirit has their domain within us. It is only dependent on the doors you open, okay? is only dependent on the doors you open and depending on what doors are closed. What are you keeping open? Where are you keeping closed? And their domains lay within these, okay? What other fascinating subject can I do? Shit. I'd say for about the gist of it, that'll be a good settler point, just to really get your mind fucking, hooting and hollering as to how the hell I got all this fucking, insight and knowledge and shit. Honestly, whenever it comes to angelic realms, I've noticed they deal a lot more with perceptions, while demonic realms deal more with passions. My goal is connecting both those motherfuckers, okay? Being able to really build that bridge in between fucking spirit and flesh. And which people ain't gonna understand how the fuck that's gonna work, for most of y'all at least. But some of y'all might get it, or if you don't, ask questions, because I love questions. Have a good one.